Before our 30th anniversary celebration at convention this week, let's look back at how we got here. And the best way to do that is with family. Those people you share the most memories with. So stay tuned for some brotherly bonding on today's episode. And thank you to our entire Young Living family for however you've contributed through the past 30 years. Hello and welcome to Young Living's podcast, The Wild Drop. My name is Jacob Young, your host. Young Living is the world leader in producing and distributing premium essential oils, and this podcast will provide you with drops of information about Young Living, including stories, history, product information, lots of little fun facts, and even more. After a little time away, the long-lost soccer star, young brother Josef, is here with us in studio today. Josef, would you like to share your life update and your life story with us so far since you've been gone for a little bit?
Yeah, it's really good to be back. But yeah, I can give you a quick update. Doing school, university classes, that's been really fun. I've been working in Young Living, going through the departments, being like a shadow. So working with Lynn, working with Prasad, doing leadership and diamond support. You know, you did it. Mm-hmm. You understand to bro.
Yeah, I'm still doing that.
So that's what I've been doing a lot, and obviously the foundation, that's big too. And then just working on soccer. Soccer's a big thing for me.
Why don't you share with everybody how you were gone in Spain for 7 months almost?
I think it was 9, 8, somewhere around there. Let's just say 8.
Okay.
You know, yeah, I was gone for 8 months playing soccer over there in Madrid, and the game over there is completely different from the game here. Intensity, the speed, also the language. That was a huge challenge. But I know I've been up to a lot of stuff absent of Young Living and outside of Young Living. What have you been doing in Young Living, man? I know you're like changing in the world and just being like a sponge and just learning so much, but what have you been doing? We haven't talked in such a long time.
We talk every day. But yes, so I'm doing something very similar to you, where I've been going through the different departments. I've been with marketing since the beginning of, I think, early 2021 or 2022. I can't remember. And that's when we started working on the new website. And I've been with marketing ever since. And I really love what I'm doing inside of marketing. I get to work with labels and designs, messaging, wording, all of that, and basically do a better job of telling our story and making sure that you, who are all listening, really feel like the hero of the story, because that's what you are. So that's one thing that we've really been working on messaging-wise, wording-wise, is that. So even though I'm still in marketing right now, I'm still going and meeting with all the different departments. I have 2 to 3 meetings a week with financing and audit. I meet with Prasad 2 to 3 times a week for operations and Michelle Shin. And everything that I've been doing recently as far as new projects like the Oils and Iron Kit, which I just announced, which is a new men's kit that I've been working very closely with operations in finding bags for that, and then working out the pricing and the budgeting and all of that stuff. So that's been really fun, as well as working with the events team and the farm team for Men's Camp, which is launching this year in September. If you haven't listened to that podcast, it's called Men Helping Men. That was the last podcast that we did, so go and check that one out. And I am currently and have been attending online as well, school, for the last little bit. I'm hoping to be graduated by 2026, depending on how everything goes. Kate is going to start her MBA in August, which is really exciting and exhilarating. So we'll both be in school at the exact same time. And yeah, that's kind of my update right now. So
basically, you haven't been up to too much.
No.
Yeah, you got to step it up, man. No, I'm just kidding.
So obviously, our childhoods growing up were a little bit different than the average kid's childhood. And one of the questions that I get asked quite a bit is, what was it like growing up with mom and dad, traveling all over the world, building these different farms? Do you have any memories or any stories or kind of any insight to that you want to share?
I would say probably the most important and impactful was watching how Dad talked to the kids at the school, talked to the workers, basically just communicated. And it was difficult because, well, obviously he didn't speak Spanish, right? But for some reason, even though there was a language barrier there, he was able to communicate exactly what he wanted to, and the workers respected him so much, and it was just such a beautiful unison, and it was amazing just to see the relationship that he created with them, and not being able to really talk to them, but still making it work. So for me, that was a really cool thing to see. And there was a lot of times when he would try to find me and he asked me to translate, and I would help him sometimes, but most of the time he was just doing it solo, just basically waving his hands around and pointing at things. But I mean, it worked. I mean, the farm's beautiful. We have amazing workers. I mean, it's a beautiful farm down there. But for Mom, I would say, I mean, Mom and Dad, they're kind of in the same place. They're really big on building the community, and obviously it helped that she knew Spanish, but she really brought that love and that nurturing feeling to the school, talking with all the teachers, talking with the students. I don't know, Mom and Dad did a lot of just community building and growing, and the kids, they absolutely adored them. And it was just amazing to watch how two people from a different part of the world kind of just fit in. And it was like these kids had a second mom and a second dad, and for me that was really cool to see. What about you?
Well, there's a lot of different memories that I can go back to. At the time when we were younger, I hated all the traveling. I hated all the working. It was not the ideal way of spending a summer, because most of our friends were going to Disneyland or were going down to California to the beaches or whatever it may be, and that's how they enjoy their summer vacation. One story that I share quite a bit is how we planned to go to, I think it was Disney World or Disneyland for Christmas one year. And Dad got a call saying that we were really low on, I can't remember if it was pine or blue spruce, one of the conifer oils. And immediately we changed our plans and rerouted to Highland Flats and immediately started getting to work. It was just us four, and we did some harvesting and some distillation, and we worked on the distillery. And it was still very fun because after all the work was done, Dad said, well, I know we were supposed to go to Disney World, and I'm sorry we weren't able to do that, but I can give you a ride of the Disney World. And so he put us on the D8, and we went out to this giant ice patch, and we're doing donuts and drifting and all sorts of stuff on this giant D8 that's like tons and tons of pounds, of weight. It's a massive, huge machine. That's a really fun memory. Another really fun memory that I have was we were freezing cold up in Fort Nelson. We had a very limited amount of time to finish building this distillery. We arrived with, I think, 13 days left of warmth, and then after that it had started to freeze at night. And the very last day, where we had basically finalized and gotten the permit to have the building be accessible with the fire code restrictions and all that, it was such a long 3 months of just waking up super early in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, working till 11 o'clock at night to make sure we were able to meet this deadline. And we were just so tired, and we finished, and we walked outside, and the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, were right above the distillery, just shining as bright as they could. And in certain parts of the world, you can actually hear them. They make this really interesting metallic clanging sound. It's really hard to describe, but there's a few YouTube videos where you can actually hear what they sound like, depending on where you are in the world, depending on the time of the year. And it was so beautiful because it lit up the entire farm. And of course, we have the wild buffalo on the farm there too, and they were just right outside the distillery. And it was just an amazing sense of accomplishment to have that all finalized. Those are like two of my favorite memories of all time with the distillery. And obviously, we've spent a lot of time up at Skyrider and have a lot of memories up there with getting the massive tree that we had for Christmas one year through the doors and breaking the branches on them, and then my dad doing
like the rope thing,
and creating a pulley system. I mean, this is a 22-foot tall tree. And my dad always went extravagant and big for Christmas just to create memories. And memories he did create and leave with us for a very long time.
No, those kinds of things you can never forget. I mean, Ecuador, that move was huge. and then Idaho, like you said, Skyrider, all these wonderful places and the experiences, they'll stay with us for the rest of our lives. For me, recently, I've been thinking a lot about those calm Sundays that we would have, where it was just the four of us, and we would eat, Dad's famous pancakes, and then his special eggs that he made for me, because Grandma was like, eggs are the worst, and so I didn't want to eat them, but Dad made the special eggs, and I miss the taste of the secret ingredients and the Yukon and all that. But for me, it was really special when we would just sit at the table and eat, and then after we would have some Bible study, and we would really come close to the Lord and just coming to what we believed in. For some reason, just recently with a lot of things that's been happening, it just reminded me of those good, simple days on Sundays. So, I don't know. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Dad always cooked every meal that we had. He always cooked for the Army. I think he cooked maybe 2-3 times a week, and we'd have leftovers for the rest of the week just because he'd cook so much food, even if there was so few of us. Sunday was a very special day for us. Always is still a special day. But that was the one time we really got to enjoy our Sunday favorite dish was pancakes or waffles with ice cream and
turkey bacon.
And we wouldn't,
bacon,
and we wouldn't get ice cream. We'd get this stuff called rice stream. So it's made with rice milk. So because we didn't drink cow milk, we didn't have beef, we didn't have pork, we didn't really do a whole bunch of rices. We didn't do a lot of bread. If it was sourdough, and then when we started doing einkorn a lot at home. So our diets were very different than everybody else's too. One fun story that I'm going to share really quick was when you were much younger, and I think you remember this, but Mom and Dad had kind of talked to us about why sugar is not good for you and the side effects that can come from sugar and why we don't send, you and Joseph to school with candy or a donut or whatever it may be. Well, at lunch, Joseph and I went to the same school, and the lower grades would kind of be on one side of the cafeteria, and the higher grades would be on the other side. And anywho, I just saw Joseph out of the corner of my eye stand up and slap this kid's donut out of his hand and created this whole scene inside the cafeteria just because you were told by Mom and Dad that sugar was bad. It was kind of funny and kind of sweet at the exact same time that you're looking out for this kid, but it created this whole fiasco, and it was just kind of a slight misunderstanding of how to go about telling people like, hey, sugar's not necessarily good for you, but it's your choice. You decide whatever you want to do.
No, I definitely took it too far, right? At that young age, whenever I saw sugar or anybody eating it, I was like, oh my gosh, they're about to poison themselves, right? So that was like my first instinct. Obviously, after that incident, Mom and Dad told me, hey, you got to not hit the food out of the kid's hand. Maybe just, like you said, tell them, hey, sugar's not that good for you. Eat some meat, eat some greens, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I was just so passionate about it because Mom and Dad were like, hey, this is bad for you. This does this to the body. So just do whatever you can to avoid it. So that's where my head's at. But I've been pretty good with having a healthy diet and then working out. So I don't think if it wasn't for Mom and Dad kind of teaching us that and helping us get that strict diet, that I would be as healthy as I am today.
Yeah, I definitely can say that I have cheated my diet just a little bit since, moving out and being married. I would say Kate and I are really good with our diets. But Kate's family, they're phenomenal cooks. Her mom and dad, they are phenomenal cooks, and we always have Sunday dinner with them. And they are very conscious about what they eat and what they have. So I'm super grateful for Mom and Dad with how they raised us food-wise and diet-wise and everything like that. Obviously, it's super important to have a great diet. I mean, I think Mom is like the perfect walking example that exists. She always talks about, and Dad always talked about this too, that if you take care of your body will take care of you later on. And it's just as important to do that in your younger years as it is in your older years. You're susceptible to a lot more when you're younger because your body's able to,
You can get away with it.
Yeah. You can get away with it a little bit easier. But even then, I still constantly remind myself, and I still take a large amount of our products. Our cabinet and our pantries are just stacked with all of the different products that we take. Cardio has been my biggest struggle. I'm not a big fan of cardio, but Kate's family, they're really big into pedal biking. So I got a bike last year, been trying to go more on pedal bike rides with
Pedal
them.
biking.
Pedal biking, yeah. I like motorcycle riding a lot more, but you don't get a whole lot of cardio out of that. So, but yeah. So convention is this week. How you feeling about that?
I'm not stressed at all. It's not like this is the biggest event for Young Living in the year. You know, I'm joking a little, but I am a little stressed, but it's a good kind of stress. There's bad stress and there's good stress. Good stress is we don't want to mess up the opener and talking on stage in front of all of you, right? But I'm just nervous to talk and see all of you, and I'm also looking forward to all the great things that are coming out, and we're trying out a lot of new things in Young Living and for this convention, and I'm just excited to see how it all turns out.
Yeah. It's amazing to be at this point in Young Living's life, to celebrate 30 years, to be a part of it physically our entire lives, and to just see the movement that mom and dad have created and the people that they've brought together with it. Convention, very same for me, is such, it can cause stress. It causes a little bit of anxiety, some sleepless nights, but it's all for a very good reason. I think it's because we strive so hard. All of us here in the building strive so hard to make everything perfect and just amazing as it possibly can be for all of you. We really focus on the fine details. We really want to make sure that you are excited for the next 30 years that we have to provide. You know, we want to make sure that you feel just as passionate about Young Living as we do every single day. We love what we do. We truly, truly do. And I'm not saying that every day is perfect and every day is easy. There are some very difficult days, and there are some days where, you know, you kind of just don't want to deal with life in general. But it's because of all of you that allows us to push forward and move forward. And so having you guys come to convention and in a way like cheer us on and just being able to kind of just celebrate our victories together and our losses as well. It's an amazing and great time. It's kind of one of those experiences where it's different for everyone to portray how they feel and what they experience at convention. That's why I am so happy that so many people are able to attend virtually, and we have that option nowadays. But I always tell people the in-person experience is just so unique and so different, and something you cannot replicate virtually, and that every year is different, right?
And at the same time, right, there's new people coming in each and every convention.
Yeah.
So that when they're missing out on the opportunity, they're missing out on conversations and stories and possibly connections in their business, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a long list of things they're missing out on when they're not in person. But we're just happy that they can see it and hopefully learn and educate themselves, because each convention is very educational. And I mean, I'm learning a lot about sleep. Mark is doing a presentation about that. It's going to be very interesting for all of you to listen to it. So
I'm super excited for that product specifically. So
can't say what it is, but it's good. It is good.
No, we're so happy that all of you get to celebrate this momentous occasion with us. And even convention every year, we're so happy you get to celebrate this time this year with all of us. And so I am probably most excited for the pickleball tournament.
Thanks for dropping
Joseph and
me.
Joseph and I had a little bit of a falling out. Nothing personal.
Just business?
It was more personal with my wife. So originally Joseph and I had planned to play together, and then Kate came into the situation and said, "So who's my partner?" And I said, So Kate kicked Joseph off my team.
I was so confused because I heard Jacob kicked Kate off, got me in, and now I'm kicked off and Kate's in. So now I'm solo. I have no idea where I'm going to go, who I'm going to play with, but maybe I just might 1v2 it.
Hey,
maybe.
There might, if you're listening to this and you need a partner, Joseph might be your partner. So, I'm actually, I love you. I love you, Joe. I really do.
You
but
do?
after, our practice last night, I think I'm kind of glad I did kick you off my team.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't I beat you though?
Kate's almost like twice the player that you are. So
wow. Okay. I don't know about that. We gotta like roll back the clips and see, the score and all that. But
now 1v1, like you and I'd say we're pretty matched. We're pretty even. you just seem to get,
we're just gonna have to see on the court.
Yeah. I like that. We'll settle our differences on the court.
Only business, not personal.
Yep.
You promise? Let's shake on it.
Let's shake on it.
Okay.
There might be some slight trash talking, but please know that it's all brotherly love.
And it's clean, clean trash talking. Like, hey, I don't like your shirt, sir. I don't know.
I really like my shirt. I'm hurt now. No, I'm just kidding. So that's what I'm most excited about. How about you?
Well, obviously, I love the foundation, and I love the message that they're sending to our members and brand partners, and just to people around the world. I love being a part of it. I love doing the auction stuff, raising money, the fundraisers, and just the whole feeling and the emotion that the foundation, it just projects. And I love to be around it because I feel like giving is probably the most important for me. No, it is the most important thing. Foundation would probably be up there. The Ningxia bar is great. Mm-hmm. The Ningxia is always
You are always a number one hit at the Ningxia bar. I see you. Somehow, the floor only seems to be, obviously floor level, but I always see you about 20 feet above the floor every time I walk into the Ningxia bar. You're usually stacked on top of somebody else's shoulders, or you're on top of the bar, or you somehow manage to, get onto some of the... Yeah, it's crazy, because every time I come in, I'm like, oh, I never am looking eye level at you at the Ningxia bar. I'm always looking up for you at the Ningxia bar. You throw on a very good party at the Ningxia bar, so I love that you do that. And
show my dance moves and all that. I want to bring the energy up.
You've got some pretty good dance moves. Yes, bring your best dance moves to the Ningxia Club Red Bar. It's a great time, fun time, and the foundation is phenomenal. We always do some pretty amazing giveaways, some raffles and silent auctions. We have some. We can't add that.
I mean, no, here's the thing. Yeah,
I know.
We've shaved our head like 3 times.
I know. We're keeping our hair this year, which is great.
Really?
I'm happy
I was
hair.
told we were shaving it this year.
No, we're not shaving our head this year.
Whew, okay, that is a relief. Man, can you imagine a 4th year?
The pickleball tournament is the main fundraiser for this year. But we also have the silent auction, and we have raffles going on. And there's one item in the silent auction that I think is really going to blow people's minds.
It's going to blow them away.
The foundation, the only hint I can really give is the foundation has talked about the story of how this item is tied to one of those stories from a trip of this year.
Whoa.
And so it's a really unique piece of Young Living history. It's an amazing full circle moment. We were talking about it today, and we were kind of going over the presentation about the foundation, and it's definitely going to be some leaky ice syndrome, and I'm very excited and stoked for it. So, and just to kind of remind all of you that even if you're not able to share to the or donate to the foundation, sharing about the foundation to others is a great way to participate and be a part of it. Even if you're going through the booth and looking around and just sharing with other people, we really appreciate that you're just sharing the word and the mission of the foundation as well. And of course, on all of your orders at convention, you can choose to dollar up, to round up your order to help with the foundation as well. It really, really, really goes a long ways. And if you're interested in more of the projects and the passions that we have with the foundation, you're able to go back and look at a few of the episodes that we've done here on the Wild Drop, as well as go to the Young Living Foundation website for that too. So, but yeah, I'm definitely most excited for pickleball at convention. I am excited about jousting. It is going to be very hot, though. It's probably one of the hottest jousts we've had in a long, long time. So when you come down to Farm Day, please wear appropriate clothing.
Do you need a water boy?
I'm going to drench myself before I get on my horse. I'm going to drench myself in my horse. So.
If you need like a water boy or just like someone to be there for some emotional support besides Kate, you let me know.
Okay.
All right, I'll bring ice cream. I'll bring, the water.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hug and a kiss on the cheek. Yeah.
Thank you.
Whatever you need, I'll do that for you.
Thank you.
Because, I'm a big fan. We'll just have to see what happens this week, and I'm looking forward to it. The ice cream and the event and everything.
It's going to be an amazing time. Okay, so obviously we're also celebrating the 30-year milestone with Young Living, which is older than all of us in this room. We haven't been able to see all the conventions, technically, all the convention openers in person.
Okay, yeah.
But we've been able to see them, via video and whatnot afterwards. Is there like a favorite convention moment that you were not able to be physically present for or in the moment of that you got to see later,
Yeah, I mean, I saw it through my mom's belly in 2002, but I would say the Indiana Young for me was probably the coolest convention or opening that I wasn't there for. How would you say that? Yeah, I wasn't there for. But I actually, watching that over and over and over, I had this idea. I was like, maybe we should do something fun, or we should go back to that kind of cinematic feeling and cinematic opening. So hopefully in the future, hopefully soon, maybe we can go back to that cinematic opening, because for me, I love the Indiana Young so much and the elixir of life and everything. But we're just gonna have to see, what Young Living wants to do. I know we do like those singing openings all the time and beautiful music. And Mom, she's just fantastic. I mean, Mom and Kate, the three of you, you're just so good and talented and just...
So are you. You're quite the rap star.
Let's not bring that up.
I'm really sad you didn't start a rap
It was a
career.
phase, it was a phase, but let's not go back to that phase, right? But, I've loved every single opening that we've done, but for me, I would love if we could bring back some cinematic stuff.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see.
I think there's like three that really speak out to me. Unfortunately, you picked out Indiana Young, which is also one of my like personal favorites. The three that I really like, and I can't remember the theme, but it was when they all portrayed as astronauts and they were going, I think it was into the future. I think that's what the theme of the convention was called. But they all were astronauts. They got in a spaceship and they went out to space and discovered new land and new aromatics. It was really cool. And the other one was the Elixir of the Gods. So that was the Egyptian theme.
Egyptian one.
Yeah, that one was really, really cool.
Did they do something cinematic for that?
And that's not the 2010 convention. That was 2001, 1990. I can't remember. And then the last one that I really, really liked was Dad came out on his night costume. Mom came out in her maiden dress. And then we had the procession. And I had my little night costume with my little yellow cap. And we brought out a pony and everything. That was pretty fun. So those are like my top three. So, yeah, I think it was good fun.
No, we've had amazing convention openers. And this one is going to be super different.
Yeah.
Exciting, unexpected. I'm telling all of you that you're listening, this week is going to be a curveball. Probably the best curveball you're ever going to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree. Okay. So obviously the best part about convention for me personally is getting to meet and talk with all of you, hear your stories, where you're from, what got you into Young Living. I love chatting and just being with all of you. That's one of my favorite parts, honestly. And I just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of an idea of where I'm going to be. So Joseph and I are kind of going to be all over the place, but there's three spots, I think. Yeah, something like that. I'll just kind of give you a general list of areas that I'm going to be at, and then Joseph, you'll give your general list of areas that you're going to be at. So please come say hi. We'd love to talk and chat with you, hear your stories, like I said. So we have the live wild drop happening every single day during convention. The times are a little bit different each day, so please look at the agenda for that just to check it out. So I will be there for sure. Obviously, I'll be on main stage a few times. And then if I'm not at the Wild Drop main stage, I'm going to be throughout the expo. Like I said, I love to mix and mingle, love to talk to all of you. But I'm also going to be at a new area in the expo that we haven't had before that we talked about on the last podcast, Men Helping Men, which is the oils and iron area. So this is a men's corner, essentially. This is the area for the guys to go to.
No girls allowed.
No. Ladies, you are allowed if you'd like to come.
Obviously, we love ladies.
Yeah. And so this is just kind of an area for the guys to mix and mingle and have their spot, their moment, their area at convention. So I'm going to be there most of the time kind of talking about the new kit. I'm going to be helping a lot with the new swag that we have. It's very limited, so get yours while it lasts. And like I said, I'm kind of all over the place, but you'll for sure be able to find me in those spots. Joseph, I can't really speak for you, but because you are a foundation ambassador, I assume you're going to be at the foundation booth for most of the time, correct?
Yeah, you are correct. I'm probably going to be around the foundation, probably going to be around the Ningxia bar, make sure the party's happening and make sure the energy levels are high.
Joseph will make sure that you're dancing if you're not dancing.
If you're not dancing, anybody I see and they're not moving, they're going to like to move it. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to be at the Ningxia bar doing shots, dancing, shaking the hips, the foundation, talking to all of you, hearing your stories, and then potentially having some of you go on service trips, donating, just being a part of the foundation. And then I'm going to be, like Jacob, I'm going to be running around the expo. So if you see us, grab us, hug us, talk to us. We love to hear your stories, like Jacob said, and just see you, because for us, we love to talk to our second family. Or, you know what? Nah, we like to talk to our family. We're one big old family, one big old tribe, and so we're going to be around the expo, so just grab us. So nice. We love you so much. We are so grateful for you and everything that you do for Young Living. If it wasn't for you, Young Living wouldn't be where we are today, and we appreciate all the hard work that you put into your businesses, spreading the message, and carrying on the legacy of our dad. So
absolutely. So, safe travels to all of you. Like I said, make sure to bring the appropriate clothing, not only just in general throughout a general session and convention, but also for farm day. It's going to be hot, so drink lots of water. Make sure to stay hydrated, UV, sunscreen, all that good stuff is all. And Joseph, thank you for coming on to the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for inviting me and catching up with me.
Well, thank you, Joseph. And thank you all for tuning into this episode of The Wild Drop. Remember, you can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and of course our website at www.youngliving.com. Don't forget to oil up Young Living family. We'll see you all very, very soon. This is Jacob Young, dropping out. Take care.
Light up the way, Young Living Essentials is the magic beginning today. What? Young Living Essentials. Oh, thank you. We love you. Mwah.